people, so this is pretty much what I've got, and if you do the process the way I'm doing it, obviously this is what you're going to need. I have 3 colors. If you buy, excuse me, if you buy the pack of the Adirondack, can you see that there? If you buy a pack of these, usually I think I paid $9 something for them, and it came with 3 colors, as you can see. These are the ones that I got. I got this one that is Meadow, which is, it's actually a fairly light green, which obviously is a charcoal black. And I've got the Currant. Also gonna need, obviously, your gloves. I have alcohol for cleanups. If you mess something up with these, the best thing about them is that you can use alcohol to wipe whatever you've done clear and start over again. Of course, whatever mod you're using. This is my cheapo Fastech K2, I believe this is. Anywho, this is what I'm using to apply the medium. I'm going to use Q-tips. And I've got napkins. My little dish bowly things to put the ink in. You're going to make it out of something that obviously is not absorbent. It's not going to absorb the colors when you put them into it. So baggies, sandwich baggies, anything that will not absorb the color you can use. And you also want something like this. I've seen people do it where you take the piece of cardboard, roll it into a tube, and this way, A, it's something to hold your mod with while you're painting it, and B, you can prop this up somewhere on its side while it dries. For me, I've got my little cube of foam, and I'm just going to stick them in there like that to leave them dry. The clear coat that I'm using, I'm guessing it doesn't matter as long as it's pretty durable, so I'm using the Krylon. Most of them were about 10 minutes dry time. This one, indoor, dries in 10 minutes, non-yellowing, flat. It's pretty much, and it even says metal, wood, plastic, and more. So this is exactly what I was looking for. That's what I'm going to clear coat it with so that it will not fade with use. And other than that, I'm using just literally print paper from my printer upstairs because I have a crap load of it. So I'm using that to lay down. And don't forget your other vape, because you don't want to be painting your favorite vape and have nothing to vape on while you're painting it and it dries, because this is going to take a while. This is not a quick process. As a matter of fact, I'm speeding up the process in video time for you, so you don't have to sit through the process like I did, just so you can see how it's done. Be forewarned and be ready if you want to do this. If you want it to look awesome, you have to put the time into it. So make sure you've got another vape. Okay, I've taped off where I don't want paint. I don't want paint around my locking ring. As you can see, this ring here, where it detaches for the battery to go in and out, it has worn significantly. So I want to cover that, so I'm not going to protect that with the tape. I've also coated my threading because I do not want the ink to be in my threads at all. So I coated that well with the tape. And I'm not going to go on the inside, so I didn't bother with that in my connectors, but I am going to do around the top a little bit, just to make it match. And I also used the tape to make a sort of design in there, which I don't know how it's going to look, but I'm going to just try it out and see how that looks in the end. I'm hoping it's going to look pretty good. I have my little Vaporella V. So, okay. So from what I hear, what I'm told, what I've read, what I've seen, you want to wipe down your surfaces with alcohol before you try applying this because you want to make sure there's no oils from your hands or juice or anything else on the surface itself before you apply the actual inks, just to make sure that they adhere well. Okay, so first things first, we want to pick the color that we want to be most dominant on our mod. So for me, that would be the currant or red. Okay, I'm gonna put some red in here. And I'm going to keep mine capped because I'm assuming since it's alcohol ink, which is made with alcohol, it will dry up on you fairly quick. So now we're going to apply it, and it is a long process, as I've said. You want to be as random as possible, but in the beginning it doesn't look like much. It looks like a mess. So just go with it, just randomly dotting everywhere. Just keep turning it, dotting it, and turning it, and dotting it. And I guess I should get a few up top. I'm not too worried about getting on the outer bottom portion of the ring, but as you can see, I've covered the rest of it fairly close too, because I don't want the actual ring itself to have color on it, but I would like some on the bottom portion, the button and the bottom of the firing ring. So, and then you just keep at it. Already it's starting to look kind of cool, but we're far from done. So I'm going to let that one dry for a little bit while I continue the process on the other part, the top portion of the mod, because again, I want the top and the bottom to pretty much match. There's also two other colors that have gone to go on this, so I want to go in with them now. I'm going back to my first piece, and I am going to add my slate. Now the slate is the darkest color I'm using, and for the look I'm going for, I don't want to put too much in. So I'm going to put this slate as the in-between color, because then in the end I can go over with the green and then go back with the red to fill in what I missed. And that way I think it will be the right the right amount of each color that I'm looking for. So there's only one way to find out. I need more than that because that did nothing. Again, just still at this point filling in everywhere where you see blank spots, filling it in. So now I'm just basically filling in between the red with the slate, and I've noticed now that I'm using it for quite some time. The slate is almost the same, if not lighter, than the curry red that I'm using. So I'm just basically filling in spots that I kind of missed with the red, hoping that it will work out well in the end when I fill everything else in with the green. We will see. Again, it's just trial and error here with this, And the best part is, like I said, if you mess it up, if it doesn't look right, you can take alcohol to it and the alcohol ink will come right off and you can try it again. So far I think that looks pretty good though. So I'm going to dot up some of this top part here and let that dry a little while I do the other one before going in with the green. Now I'm going to go in with my green. And pretty much fill in between and everywhere there's nothing at. There's not too much of that at this point, but that's kind of the point. I didn't want too much green, so. Now, between the three colors, it's really doing something cool. I wish you could see it, but I know it's not showing on the camera. But yeah, this is where it starts getting cool because it does really cool things at this point. Because you've got the dry paint, you've got some semi-dry paint, and the wet paint that you're putting on. And the alcohol interacts with them all differently. So it looks pretty freaking cool if you ask me. I'm actually doing it reversed now. Okay, that's pretty much my finished product. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's basically a whole slew of dots, and I think it looks pretty cool. Once I peel my little V off there, it might even look cooler. So now I'm going to clear coat both ends thrice and let them dry 10 minutes each and we'll be done.